भारती न्यूज, सीधा, सटीक और निष्पक्ष।
Good evening and welcome to Bharti News. I'm Shweta Arora Malhotra. Let's have a look at the biggest news of the day. Here is the national news first. Captain Sumit Sabharwal's father paid tribute to his son, pilot of the Air India plane which crashed. With tears yelling in his eyes and folded hands, Captain Sumit Sabharwal's father paid final tribute to his son, pilot of the Air India plane which crashed in Ahmedabad on June 12th. Mr. Sabharwal had promised his father that he would quit his job and take care of him full-time. The promise has been left unkept. 56-year-old pilot is among the 241 people who were cheered. Air India flight AI-171 crashed into the BJ Medical College hostel building soon after takeoff from the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport. The body of Mr. Sabharwal was brought to Mumbai by a flight in the morning after his identity was confirmed through DNA testing. From there, the casket carrying the body was taken to his house in Jal Vayu Vihar, Powai. A son, a mentor and a seasoned pilot, Captain Sumit Sabharwal was known for his calm and composure. Today, family, friends and colleagues gathered to pay their final tribute to their beloved pilot. I had the opportunity to serve him vegetarian meal. We walked many times together and ate meals together, said a woman remembering working with Mr. Sabharwal as a cabin crew member. He joined in front of me. He was a dedicated son, committed and skilled pilot. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday arrived in Canada's Kananaskis to attend the G7 summit. This marks his first visit to Canada in a decade. Discussions with the world leader at the G7 summit will be focused on crucial global issues including energy, security, technology and innovation. At the summit, the Prime Minister will exchange views with leaders of G7 countries, other invited outreach countries and heads of international organizations on crucial global issues including energy, security, technology and innovation, particularly the AI energy nexus and quantum-related issues, the Ministry of External Affairs earlier said. Modi, who is on a three-nation tour, arrived Monday evening in Canada from Cyprus at the invitation of Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. The Kananaskis gathering on June 16 and 17 is the Prime Minister's sixth consecutive participation in the G7 summit. Let's take a look on international news. Israel-Iran escalates attack on day 5 of conflict. Trump proposes ceasefire while Israel's strikes have hit Iran's strategic locations including missile storage bunkers, launchers and nuclear facilities and killed top security and intelligence officials. Both sides have caused significant damage to civilians in major cities such as Haifa, Tel Aviv and Jerusalem in Israel and Tehran in Iran as missiles struck residential areas. The conflict between Israel and Iran bore no signs of warning as it entered its fifth day. Casualties are mounting with at least 24 people reportedly killed in Israel and 224 in Iran, while Israel's strikes have hit Iran's strategic locations including missile storage bunkers, launchers and nuclear facilities and killed top security and intelligence officials. Both sides have caused significant damage to civilians in major cities such as Haifa, Tel Aviv and Jerusalem in Israel and Tehran in Iran as missiles struck residential areas. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron has claimed that US President Donald Trump has offered to broker a truce between Israel and Iran. Whenever duty calls and whatever danger comes, the White House shares cryptic message after Trump's evacuate Tehran warning. Shortly after, President Donald Trump warned that everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran amid rising tensions between Iran and Israel. The White House posted a cryptic message praising the US military at the summit. The Prime Minister will exchange views with leaders of G7 countries, other invited outreach countries and heads of international organizations on crucial global issues including energy, security, technology and innovation, particularly the AI energy nexus and quantum-related issues, the Ministry of External Affairs earlier said. Let's take a look on sports news. New Zealand captain Sophie Devine, who gave up T20 captaincy last year after the maiden T20 World Cup triumph for the White Ferns, is set to call it a day from the ODIs. The Women's World Cup 2025 later this year in India and Sri Lanka will be her final assignment. Sophie Devine, who will turn 36 in the month of September when the 13th edition of the Women's World Cup kicks off in India, is set to retire from ODIs following the competition. Devine, who led the White Ferns to their maiden T20 World Cup title last year, gave us captaincy in T20s following the tournament and reckoned that the decision to call it off from ODIs is her looking at the larger picture of eventually stepping away from the game. It feels like the right time for me to start stepping away, said Devine. I feel very fortunate to have NZC's support in finding a solution that means I can still give to the White Ferns. It's important that everyone knows I am focused and dedicated to giving this group everything I can before I step away.
बस अभी 12th खत्म हुई थी और अब आधे से ज्यादा टाइम ये सोचकर निकाल देते हो कि विच करियर टू चूज. वेल, इन दैट केस आई गॉट यू कवर्ड. ये वीडियो एंड तक देखना, क्या पता आई विल जस्ट मेक अप योर माइंड. यू मस्ट हैव थॉट ऑफ कोई बस ऐसा कोर्स मिल जाए जहाँ अनलिमिटेड जॉब ऑप्शन हो, क्योंकि मैं भी यही सोचती थी. जैसे कि जर्नलिस्ट, न्यूज एंकर, रेडियो जॉकी, स्क्रीन राइटर, वीडियो एडिटर, इवेंट मैनेजर, ग्राफिक डिजाइनर, सिनेमैट, फोटोग्राफर, डायरेक्टर, पब्लिक रिलेशन ऑफिसर, एंटरप्रेन्योर. इनफैक्ट इन सबसे भी ज्यादा जॉब ऑप्शंस चाहिए. तो जस्ट चूज BAJMC एज अ करियर. BAJMC is not just about theory but plenty of practical knowledge too. BAJMC as a course आपको provide करता है world की better understanding, meeting और working with people of top notch industry. और सिर्फ यही नहीं, BAJMC as a course आपको help करता है to grow personally and professionally too. So what are you waiting for? Choose BAJMC क्योंकि इधर आपको मिलेंगी endless possibilities.
Matthews will bid adieu to Test cricket following Sri Lanka's Test match against Bangladesh at Gale. Matthews has called for more Test matches for Sri Lanka, stating that his country has done so much for cricket. Matthew, who is set to retire from Test cricket, has called for more Test matches for Sri Lanka, saying that the nation deserves to play the longest format just like India, Australia and England. Sri Lanka will play only 4 Test matches in 2025, their fewest since 2013, excluding the COVID-impacted 2020. Sri Lanka will play only 12 Tests in the new cycle with 6 2-match series lined up. Australia will play the maximum 22, followed by England's 21 and India's 18 games. Matthews will bid adieu to the format after the opening test of the 4th World Test Championship cycle between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh at Gale. He is the latest man to voice for more Test cricket for other teams outside the Big Three. I think it's quite sad, to be honest, Matthews said. I mean, the younger generation are urging for more Test cricket. Test cricket is obviously the pinnacle of cricket. We all should push for more Tests. These guys are so enthusiastic about Test cricket. Let's take a look on business news. Amitabh Kant resigns as India's T20 Sherpa to embrace new opportunities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has accepted Kant's resignation. Kant is a retired 1980 batch Indian Administrative Service officer of Kerala cadre. Amitabh Kant, former CEO of Niti Aayog, has resigned as India's G20 Sherpa. Kant has been in government service for 45 years and has managed diverse assignments during his tenure. He was appointed as India's G20 Sherpa in July 2022, months before India assumed the G20 presidency. In a LinkedIn post titled "My New Journey," Kant said, "After 45 years of dedicated government service, I have made the decision to embrace new opportunities and move forward in life. I am incredibly thankful to the Prime Minister of India for accepting my resignation as G20 Sherpa and for having given me the opportunity to drive a range of developmental initiatives and contribute to the growth, development and progress of India." Prime Minister Narendra Modi has accepted Kant's resignation. Kant is a retired 1980 batch Indian Administrative Service officer of Kerala cadre. Israel-Iran tensions could pinch your pocket also. These items may get costlier in India. Rising tensions between Iran and Israel have triggered volatility across global stock markets, with investors reacting nervously to the heightened geopolitical uncertainty. A fierce conflict is currently unfolding between Israel and Iran, with both nations launching heavy missile attacks against each other, causing extensive destruction on both sides. Experts warn that the situation is likely to escalate further and may drag the entire Middle East into the conflict. If the war continues for an extended period, it could have significant repercussions for India due to its trade ties with both countries. India exports various goods to and also imports several essential items from Iran and Israel. In the event of a full-blown war, several commodities in India may see a sharp rise in prices. India imports 85% of its oil demand through imports from various countries. Even though India does not directly import large volumes of oil from Iran, it remains a significant player among global oil producers. The ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran has already disrupted the oil market, pushing crude oil prices sharply upward. So that concludes our news bulletin for today. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned to Bharti News for continuous coverage and more updates. Wishing you a good evening and a great night ahead. Thank you.